And Matt, take us through this win here today. Certainly a shot in the arm for the 17 team, and yet another example of just the talented racer and race team that you guys have over there.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, plate racing is really a testament to everybody at Roush Fenway Racing, the guys that build these cars and put bodies on them, and Jimmy and all the guys that set them up and work on them in the pit crew, and certainly everybody at the engine shop, Doug Yates and all them guys. So plate racing, especially Talladega, has always been about a fast race car, not necessarily a good handling one, or I never felt like the driver was a huge factor. So certainly this win is really about them guys a lot more than me, but glad to get them the win. The plate stuff has just been unbelievable this year. All 4 plate races, they put me in a position to win, and I really felt like I let them down here last time on the move I made or didn't make. And at Daytona again, we had a shot to win that thing and messed it up at the end and got beat by Tony. So I'm really proud to be in victory lane with these guys. They worked on it hard today. We had a up and down day. We had a couple near misses on the track and had to work our way back through the pack 2 or 3 times. We had the car pretty loose, pretty tough to drive at times. So glad it all worked out for us at the end.
Okay, Crew Chief Jimmy Fennig, talk about today's race and maybe how things looked up from your vantage point here this afternoon.
Well, all weekend we were struggling with a little bit of speed, and today we ended up with the car on a little bit on the free side, and we tried adjusting it out, but we really couldn't get it out, so Matt did an awesome job. As you all seen him going down on the apron there to save that thing, but it was a good race. Feel bad for him to have to drive it that free, but at the end we ended up with the trophy.
Owner Jack Roush, talk about this win here today. Certainly, again, it's just a testament to the hard work and the overall organization that you have over there.
We've got great sponsors, and we've got great technical support behind our race cars, and we've not won as many races as we should this year. Certainly, in my 25 years, this has been the best year we've had at restricted plate racing. Unless I'm misinformed, Matt has led going into the final lap of every restricted plate race we've had this year. He's won 2 and come up a little short on the other 2. It's great to be here with the Breast Cancer Foundation, with the EcoBoost Ford Fusion, and with Best Buy and 3M and not 3M, but Best Buy and Fifth Third, and with Zest as well. It's Jimmy Fennig is really good at his trade, and when he rose his car into the tech line, I've got every confidence that he's gotten every bit of consideration that the tech people will allow, and he gets the speed out of the cars where a lot of people couldn't. But Matt did a nice job today. As I said, he had a couple of occasions where he could have wound up on his roof or on his side, and he managed to have the presence to be able not to do that, presence and skill not to let that happen, and he wound up in the victory circle.
Let's go to the press box for our first question. Go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports, congratulations. Matt, how would you describe your strategy going into a race like this? I mean, do you race just to wait for the finish, to go to win, or are you just racing for surviving?
Yeah, that's kind of an easy question. I don't have a strategy when I go in, except for the same as every other race. So when they went to I don't know how many years ago it was, but when they went to them strips on the roof and everything, it drastically changed restrictor plate racing. It used to be, when I started here, it was very difficult to pass. If you could stay leading and stay in the bottom, it was hard for people to pass you. There was no pushing in tandems, and there wasn't any of that. And since the evolution of changing these cars and, making them where we can pass better and are in a bigger pack and all that stuff, the first couple of years we always tried to make a strategy. Let's all hang in back. Let's go up front, but if it looks scary, let's go to the back. And honestly, I just got tired of it. So I think Jimmy and I talked about it, I think last July or something before Daytona. And we just decided, them fans pay a lot of money to watch us race. These guys pay me money to drive the race car fast. We just go out and race hard every lap. We go try to qualify the best we can, go up, try to lead the most laps if we can, and put ourselves in position to win the race, and not really worry about all that. As you saw today, and you've seen a lot of times, there is no safe place. Tony was leading, or I might have just passed him. I might have been second when he got wiped out. So, I mean, you got to go race sooner or later. Last lap is the last lap, and everybody's trying to get to the front. So I'd rather already be there if we can be.
Let's come downstairs for questions. Ed, I believe you had one.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Matt, Jimmy just said he felt bad that you had to drive that car that free all day long. But when you really come down to it, wasn't having to drive that car that free exactly what kind of forced you into the lane that helped you escape from all this mess?
Yeah, it kind of did. The second to last run, I was on the bottom there, and I think we were leading, and Jamie was behind me, and he was trying to push me down the back a little bit and bump me a little into three, and about wiped out, and had to move up the track and lost a lot of momentum, a lot of spots. So I knew at the end I couldn't be on the bottom with cars outside of me and cars pushing me, especially through the tri-oval. That I knew that we'd get wrecked, because the last lap people are going to try to push you all the way around the track, because it's the last lap. So. When we got way out in the lead, coming to the white, I just kind of sized up the lanes behind me, and I didn't want a lane to go real fast by me on the bottom, but I decided, not to go to the bottom. I was going to try to grab the middle guy, and that was Kevin. He was kind of, Tony was out front a little farther than him, but he was lower, so I just kind of moved up in front of, Kevin, and it all worked out.
Let's go here with Tom.
Hi, guys. Congratulations. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. Jack, you're a businessman. Costs a lot of money to run these cars, run these teams. Does it cringe when you come here knowing the investment it takes to build these cars and knowing there's a pretty good chance you're going to come home with a lot of them torn up?
Well, I'm real conflicted about restrictor plate racing. It's NASCAR's marquee. The high banks of Daytona and Talladega have built a foundation under a lot of their promotions, and a lot of fans relate particularly to these racetracks. But the driver and the crew and their strategies that you can organize yourself for have got less to do with keeping you out of harm's way than they do at a short track or intermediate sized track. So I really just figure that cars are write-off whenever I've loaded up in the truck to bring it to one of these restricted plate races. And if we've got the speed we've had this year, well, then you can miss most of the wrecks. But if you're caught back in the middle there, you're certainly in jeopardy and have a little to do with it, a little to protect yourself with, as Carl was not able to protect himself today.
Other questions downstairs? Back in the back there, right there, Mark, and then Bob.
Mark Allman, NASCAR.com. For Matt, you had a couple of moments today. How do you regroup when you get in that kind of situation where you're fishtailing the car, trying to keep it going and in the right direction and all that? And how quickly does that just leave your mind, because you've got to concentrate on getting back up there?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've probably I have faster cars, so it makes you make better decisions. But I think that I've probably gained maybe just a little bit of patience over the years. And a couple times we get hung out. It's so easy to just say, okay, well, I'm gonna go drive out there 3 wide, 'cause I got a huge run catching the pack, and go over 10 miles an hour faster, and you drive out there and pass about 5 rows, and then you stall out and they all pass you back. So just had to be really patient 2 different times. We made ourselves back to the lead. I just had to the middle work pretty good for me most of the day. And there was one time, I don't know, it seemed like it took forever. I don't know my laps. It seemed like it took a half or 3/4 of a fuel run, to get back up there. And my car was really fast, and if I was patient enough with it and waited for the holes and had the right people around me, I could kind of make it happen and get in a decent position.
Let's go, Bob.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. On the first lap of the green-white checker, did you think you had forced Clint below the yellow line, or did you think while you're the leader you could do it, or were you just racing and you had no clue whether you had done anything to him that might cause NASCAR to react?
I didn't even think of that until you just said it. Honestly, I thought I was clear, and we had a pretty good running outside. I knew it was going to be close, and I thought we were clear, and I looked, and I started moving, and I kept moving. I didn't feel anything, and we're all the way to the yellow line before we even touched. As soon as we touched, I moved back up, but he was already slowed down just enough. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know if I was clear, and I was a little bit indecisive and moved too slow, to make sure I got in front of him, or he was there the whole time. I'm not really sure. I'd have to honestly watch it. Everything happened so fast there at the end.
Other questions? Who's got one? Back here in the back. Go ahead, Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Matt, if you could please, if step one is you take the lead, how did you find out that there was a wreck happening behind you? Was it radio, or did you see it? And at what point did you know, okay, this is mine, this is victory?
Well, I saw Tony's back bumper. I saw him getting spun out. I don't know how that happened or how he got in that position, but I saw him spinning out. And then, we were clearing him. I didn't know if Kevin was still back there. And, you check your mirror a lot of these places. I looked in the mirror, and honestly, there was nobody back there. So I thought we had I thought that it was our race then. So just kind of slowed down and got it back to the finish.
And can I follow with a question for Jack, please?
Sure.
Okay, Jack, one of the greatest drivers you've ever had to drive for you, and he won't be here next year sitting side by side with you. How much does this victory mean from a historical standpoint, from your relationship with him to you?
Well, I hope it's not the last race we win together, but it wasn't my choice that we would end our relationship this year. But it is what it is, and I'll take what I can get between now and then, and I'll remember it with great pride and satisfaction.